Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Spring has finally arrived in Sengoku Dynasty, and that means one thing: the farming season for rice and tea is officially on. However, there are still some confusing things that need to be covered and explained, especially for beginners. So let's dive straight into it and start with the farm layout. The layout of your fields plays a very important role in Sengoku Dynasty if you want to maximize your income. For example, to reach 100% workload, you need to place exactly 23 fields. So how you arrange them is actually up to you, but I highly recommend layouts like 6x4 or 3x8. They are compact and leave enough space for other buildings. Keep in mind though, some crops may occasionally require slightly fewer fields, but 23 is the sweet spot if you want consistent efficiency. And as you can see, I'm producing 460 tea leaves with a 100% workload using a 24 field layout. I'm honestly not sure if the difficulty setting affects how much you get per field, whether you're playing on easy, normal or hard. So if you know more about that, feel free to share it in the comments. Now let's create a 3x8 water field layout for rice. In the upper right corner, I've added also an overlay that shows what happens when you don't place exactly 23 fields and how that directly affects the final outcome. You can see that a 20 slot field is limited to 87% workload instead of 100. Multiply that across 10 fields and you're missing 130% of daily income, which is basically like having 1.3 inactive workers. I've also tested all the other crop types with this field size, so you don't have to. But for full transparency, here are lotus and taro shown as well. Now that we are done with field layouts, it's time to move on to food efficiency. Now let's check how much food a perfect field produces for each crop. I've placed a small production summary panel at the bottom of the screen, so you can easily compare the results for every crop. Some crops might seem useless at first, but don't forget that several of them are used in complex dishes and meals later on. Because of that, it's up to you to find the optimal mix of fields for your dynasty. I've also added a downloadable PDF in the comments that summarizes all crops shown on the final screen of this chapter. It's clear that some crops, such as gobo or leek, produce the highest amount of food per day, and 400 units might seem huge at the start. But as time passes on and your dynasty grows, you'll need to start thinking about fried and cooked meals. Otherwise, you eventually run into food shortages. I didn't cover hemp and flax because those aren't food crops. Still, if you want more information about them, click the link in the upper right corner. It's time to search for seeds. Beginners may have already encountered Chiyomi, who lives in a small cottage above your village in Sesoge. Throughout the all season, she sells bags and vegetables, which can later be used to craft seed bags as well. The second and probably best location is in Aratani. Our NPC named Shinta will also have a huge stock of seed bags, including a lot of veggies, which can afterwards be used to craft seed bags at the tailor's station. The probably best and easiest method to get seed bags and vegetables without having to travel is to build a farmer's market in your village. These usually sell the same variety as in the large vendors and come with a huge stock as well. And that's it also for today's guys. I try to keep this video as short as possible, and I also want to thank you all for the continuous support you're giving me since I started out on YouTube. If this is the first time you see my content, don't forget to subscribe for more survival driven, game focused content. Thanks for watching, see you next time and have a wonderful day. Cheers!